Hello everyone, welcome to a new chess video. The other day, while browsing the internet, I found a brand new opening trap that's absolutely spectacular and lets us win in just 8 moves. It's with the white pieces and it happens when we play e4. This trap has really fascinated me. Above all, why is that? Because it's played against the Sicilian defense. And as we already know, the Sicilian defense is one of the best defenses in the world, very hard to break. So with this trap, we'll be able to win in just 8 moves. I've already done all the dirty work of searching for and thoroughly studying this trap so I can teach it to you. So all you have to do is leave me a nice like, and that way everyone's happy. All right, chess teacher, how should I play this trap when someone plays the Sicilian defense against me? Well, you're going to continue with the most natural move in the world, knight to f3, okay? All of this is normal. Notice that we'd be in a standard, straightforward Sicilian d6, and then comes d4. Ah, chess teacher, but is this a trap or is it just the Sicilian that everyone knows? Well, up to this point, it's the Sicilian that everyone knows. From here on is where it changes. You'll see. The best move here, without a doubt, is the capture, in case anyone doesn't know, all right? The main idea of the Sicilian is to play c5, so that, with a side pawn, you can exchange for a central pawn. That's why after the theoretical moves, when white plays d4, black wants to capture this d4 pawn, all right? This is theoretical. What happens is that here theory tells us we should capture with the knight, and what are we gonna do? Capture with the queen. Pretty unusual move, which already starts to go off theory. Why is this move unusual and not commonly played? And why does theory say knight takes? Because there's this move, knight to c6, which directly attacks the queen and makes us lose a tempo. It's true, some people have played this, and with success, but here the theoretical move is bishop to b5, pinning this knight so it can't capture the queen anymore. However, check out this spectacular trap. We're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is move our queen to the a5 square, okay? It's super important to remember this, right? When our queen is attacked by the knight, we'll place it on a 5. This is going to be a key point. All right, so here, what's the most logical move in the world? I'm sure you're all thinking the same thing. We're pinning this knight. There's a move, bishop to d7. That seems to bother us a lot. Why's that? First, it's no longer pinned. Second, it's threatening discovered attacks. If this knight moves away, then now it would capture our queen, or rather, it would attack our queen. And pay attention, because this trap is so good, so funny, and so spectacular that at the very beginning, we make 3 consecutive queen moves. Chess teacher, let me ask you a question. All my life, you and every chess teacher have told me not to move the same piece multiple times. So how can it be that, look at this, capture this pawn with the queen, that's 1, then they attack our queen, that's 2, and now when they play bishop to d7, that's 3, and we come here, a strange move, it takes away the bishop square, we move the queen again, and it's still pinned by the other bishop. Chess teacher, are you losing your mind? Yes, I am losing my mind, but you'll see that this trap is absolutely amazing and very important. It works, and that's the most important thing. I've been testing it, and it works. Here, what is the best move for black and the most commonly played one? Well, obviously, to make us how do you say this? A discovered attack? I can't even talk, sorry. The discovered attack, knight to d4. Look at how strong this move is. First, our queen's under attack by both the bishop and knight. Second, they can trade here and double our pawns. And third, they could capture here and win our rook. So we'd be facing a triple attack, right? And we wouldn't know how to stop it. For example, if we captured here, that would be a really bad move. Why? Because they'd capture here, check, and then take our rook since this rook is already well defended. So how should we react, chess teacher, if they play this move against us? Are we already lost? Well, check this out. The amazing move here, we're actually completely winning, okay? They can't do anything. We're totally winning. With which move? Knight takes knight. And we let them take our queen. Chess teacher, you really are going crazy. You are. Well, notice that if they take the queen, we simply bring in the other bishop, and now we give a check. Check, and this king can't escape. He can't go here, or here either. What do they have to do? Give us their queen. Conclusion, when we take the queen, just notice that they have to recapture, obviously. If not, it's even better for us, right? And when they recapture, we end up with 1, 2, 3 pieces in exchange for 2. We have a clear extra piece, an extra knight. And this is just the beginning, because what comes next is much, much better. Everything looks great if, when we come here, they play this mistake that seems like a brutal move for black. Remember, it's a mistake. Why? What should we do? Capture this knight with the knight, okay? Everything looks great if they play this, but what if they defend this pawn we're attacking with a normal move like queen to 7, which I'm sure you thought of? Well, in this situation, we're going to carry out the windmill attack. You're going to be amazed. It's spectacular. Queen to c7, knight to c3. We develop the knight. Very good. Now, what are we going to do here? Well, black has to think about something. Now, this queen is here attacking this square. She can move to the other side. She's a bit dangerous, right? And what's the most normal thing for him to do? A 6, right? Since this queen can't do anything, they play a 6. And this is a mistake. It's a serious mistake, and you need to know how to punish it. You need to know how to punish it with the windmill attack. Knight to d5, and we've won the game. Spectacular. You attack my queen, I attack yours too. Obviously, you can't capture, right? Why not? Because we would capture theirs, and not only that, but also check and we take the rook. That's why this queen can't be captured. Very good. If the queen isn't captured after knight to d5, what should black do? Well, if we're attacking the queen and this pawn, they have several options. They must move the queen back and protect this pawn. It could go here or here, but it doesn't matter where they go. Why? Because here, we're going to infiltrate the queen through these dark squares. And notice that we're threatening the jump with the knight, right? And give check and take the rook. But it doesn't matter what they do, because they can't defend this. No matter what they play, we'll use the windmill attack, like knight to f6. Check. They must move the king. It's their only move. Very good. And then we capture with check. They have to move the king. Check, and they have to move the king. And we just keep taking everything. Check, and they have to move the king. Check, king moves. See? Just keep taking everything. Nothing else to take here. But for example, you can give check. They have to move the king. We capture this knight here. Check. Now, they don't have to move the king, but they have to capture here. And so we end up with an extra rook. And surely, if they move the rook away, we'll be left with extra material and could just keep capturing whatever we want. And when we get tired, we develop our pair of bishops. And we're in a much better position than our opponent. The windmill attack is spectacular, but it's not everything. Very good, Chesterton. So remember, if they play queen to c7, I'm going to play knight to c3. And you told me, Chess Disher, if they play a6, we're going to hit them with the windmill attack. Wrong. But we're back to the same thing. What if they don't play a6? Because a6 is nice, I hit them with the attack, and that's it. All right, let's keep moving. Notice that they move the queen to c7 to give the king some breathing room. What does it mean to give the king some breathing room? This is very important, in case you didn't know. The king here can't move. He doesn't have any breathing room. Once the queen moves away, then he could move. And you'll see why this is so important, because now it looks like knight to 4 is possible again. Why? Well, for the same reason as before, but now we couldn't come into check and force them to block with the queen because the king could move away. So now this move looks spectacular. Chesterton, please tell me there's some way to punish it. Of course, since you've given me a nice like and I'm really happy with you all, I'm going to show you how to punish it right away because it's very, very simple. You're the best chess community in the world, right? Like I always say, we're not many, we're just a few, but we get along really, really well. I give you these videos as a gift, and you give me a nice like and a good comment. You punish it in the same way. Knight takes on d5, giving up the queen again. Chesterton, today you really are going completely crazy. Why? Because now, when they captured this queen here, and then I take with the bishop, I've given up my queen, and they're not forced to give me theirs, right? They can move with the king. So now what? Well, you're absolutely right. I have to agree with you. Here, they don't have to give up their queen, but it's true that we have a very, very strong attack with our minor pieces. What are the minor pieces? The knights and the bishops. Look, knight to d5. We're attacking the queen. A queen that's hard to move because this bishop is covering. This knight too, and so is this other knight. So it's in a dangerous situation, right? If we look at the database and check Stockfish, what does it tell us? That this is an equal position. And what does it mean if we're in an equal position, but we're down a queen? Well, it means our position is way easier to attack and practically impossible for a human to defend. This means that only stockfish would be able to defend against this kind of attack. Let me explain. For example, natural moves, right? With the queen. Where can it go when we play over here? It could come to a5 to give us a check. And this would already be a serious mistake, because after bishop to d2, this queen would be completely trapped. As you can see, thanks to the minor pieces, our 4 minor pieces make sure the queen can't go anywhere. So look at this. Okay, knight to d4, queen a5 check. It's a mistake because of bishop to d2. Alright, but they're not forced to go to queen a5 check. They have other squares. For example, what happens if they come here? Oops, sorry, where you going, crazy one? Notice that here they can't, here they can't, here they can't. We've already seen that this is a mistake. What happens if they come here? We're punishing all the options. If they come here, the right move is bishop to e3. And I guess you all see the logic behind it, right? What's the logic? To line up this queen with the bishop and an x-ray, so you can pin her spectacularly and set up a discovered attack with the knight. If it were our turn again, we would play, for example, knight to e6 check. Check with the knight, they would have to capture here, and then we would capture the queen. And here, notice that it doesn't have any other squares, because it can't capture here, or here, or here, or here, or here. It could only come here, and it would be wasting a move, because it lets us develop this bishop. So before making you waste your time, I'll just explain directly what happens if they move back here. If they play c5 first, then bishop here, and then come here, it's exactly the same, but they've lost the tempo. Alright, they've lost the tempo. Why? Because we developed the bishop. This would be the best solution to move back. Even so, it doesn't mean we're gonna lose. We have a super strong move. So look, this is really easy to remember, because the answer is the same. Bishop to d2, just like before. You remember, right? If the queen comes here, bishop to d2. If she comes here, bishop here. Then when they go back, bishop to d2. Good. So what if they come here directly? Bishop to d2 too. And what's the threat with this bishop? Well, it's pretty easy, right? I'm sure you all see it. Come over here and, with both swordsmen, deliver a checkmate to the king in the not-so-distant future. So here, what could be a logical move? I'm sure you'll agree with me that if we play bishop to d2, most people are going to think, well, I'll play g6 and stop you from bringing your bishop here. Well, I'm going to show you how to punish them whether they play g6 or not, because I want you to have all the options covered. Why? So that when you go out to battle, you can respond correctly no matter what they do. All right? Very good. What happens if they play this move? How should we continue? Well, here we have a pretty interesting solution. Notice that every pawn move creates a weakness, okay? That's what my coach always used to tell me. When they push this pawn, look at this weakness that we can take advantage of with the knight check. What are we accomplishing with this check? We're forcing our opponent to move the king, and not only that, because they can't go here since the knight is covering it, so they have to move on to the same diagonal as the bishop, either here or here. What we do this? Take advantage of the discovered attack again, for example, by capturing here, and then we take the queen on the next move. Therefore, we would win back the queen and have extra pieces. We'd be completely winning. Alright, this is really nice, chess teacher, but what happens if, when I play bishop to d2, they don't play g6? Of course, because they've seen that g6 is a really bad move because of the knight jump, so they play something else. For example, knight to f6. What should I do? Well, logically, if they don't stop our threat, we'll go ahead and carry it out. And now they only have 2 options, because the king can't move. You see that, right? One is to give us their queen, and if they do, perfect. And if they don't give it to us, they have g6, which seems much better. How should we continue? Well, obviously, we should sacrifice our knight. I'm sure you all saw this move. Knight takes on g6, a move worthy of double exclamation marks. We attack the queen, we attack the rook. So if they don't capture this knight, they're going to lose material. And on top of that, it would be a discover check. What they have to do is capture here. They have no other choice. See? They have no choice. Bishop takes pawn, check. Now what? This king can't escape. Notice that they've played the best move in the position, pulling the queen back. Even so, look how hard it is to defend, right? So now, since they can't move the king, they have to sacrifice the queen again. Very simple. We capture it, and then they capture us. It's true, they've played the right move in this position, because we've won the queen, but they just won ours a moment ago too, right? So we have two pieces against two pieces, two rooks against two rooks, but we do have two extra pawns that will be very easy to push to the end. Notice that they've played correctly. However, we can castle, bring the rooks to the center, and we have two extra pawns. The position is still much better for us. And now, before I explain the best part of the video, which is the final trick, the real crown jewel of this video, I need to explain a detail you can't overlook. Why? Because if here, when we're attacking with, let's say they played queen to c7, and we played knight to 3, but they don't play a6, okay? Instead, they play another move, like and opening up, right? A discovered move with this knight. We've seen that this loses because a knight takes knight. But what happens if they play it here? Of course, chess teacher, here we might have more problems. Does the sacrifice work? Well, yes, the queen sacrifice, knight takes knight. Yes, it works, and it's batik. Pay attention, knight takes knight. I'll go through it quickly because it's very easy to understand. Why? Because now, when they capture our queen, it's true that when we capture the bishop, this king can move. If they give us the queen, wow, that's fantastic. We capture it, and that's it. But they can move the king, right? And when they move the king, we come in from the other side. Look, check over here, and when the king moves, we're going to capture the rook. And even though we don't have a queen and they do, we have a material advantage. And on top of that, our pieces are much better placed. And this knight, besides, will be able to get out again. They won't be able to capture it. So this is a very favorable position for us. It's just too complicated. Even though our opponent has the queen, it's really hard to win this game with black. Because if you start counting, I don't want to waste your time in the video. You can do it later, or I'll just tell you, we have a material advantage. And now, finally, we move on to the crown jewel of the video. So everything I've explained so far is how to win with this trap. Now, check this out, okay? We saw that on move 6, we hit them with the windmill attack. If they came in with the knight, we hit them with the queen sacrifice. If they came in with the knight, we hit them with the queen sacrifice. But now, chess teacher, since you've been trying this out, tell me, what do people play against you the most in real games? And now, in this final part of the video, I'll quickly explain how to win if they play against you what they've played against me, okay? Real life scenario. Everything looks great in theory, right? But what do people actually play against you? From what I've seen, it's usually knight to f6, not a6, not this one or this one. They've played all three against me, but the most common is knight to f6. So what do? Well, here I set up a spectacular trap that I love. I play with their psychology. I say, I'm pretty scared that they'll start attacking my queen with a 6 and b5. So what do? I make it look like I'm pulling back. I move her back just a little, and then most people, I'm telling you the truth, want to go for this attack to bother the queen even more, right? Does the queen bother you? I'll attack you, and then jump in with the knight. Now you'll see the importance of having the queen here. Why? Because I'm threatening to capture here and double their pawns, which nobody wants. Because I'm threatening the queen and to double the pawns. So they don't want to move the queen because otherwise that'd open up their king. And what do? They capture here, and they're already completely lost, because after pawn takes pawn, this knight is pinned. They don't realize that the queen is undefended back here. So we attack the knight, and this knight can't move. Notice one thing. If they try to chase away our queen, which is what they always do to me, it's super important. There's only one move that wins, and that's to stay on the same file as the opponent's queen. Now, if they can't move the knight because we'd win the queen no matter what will we do? Well, simply capture the knight and play with an extra piece. Well, this fabulous trap, which I absolutely loved, let me know in the comments what you thought, if you already knew about it or not, because I had no idea. I loved it. Please, please, leave me a big like. I work hard to make a video for you every single day. Hey, all you have to do is watch and enjoy it. So leave me a big like. And now, all of my dear friends, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.